Today is a very interesting video because I took a custom AI model that I've trained on historical data, my current thoughts on the market, models based on price action, catalysts, etc. And I used that data to predict the prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and major altcoins. So today we're going to go through the price predictions and I'm going to tell you whether they are realistic targets for this cycle. It's going to be a no BS video. If I think that the price prediction is off, I'm going to tell you, but the AI actually really surprised me with its modeling. So we used a mix of ChatGPT 5, which is the new model from OpenAI. They have a pro mode, which is really smart, one of the smartest models on the planet. And we combined it with Opus 4.1, which is Claude, to create an interactive dashboard and also tweak the model a little bit. And we've ended up with a result, which I think is quite interesting. And I just want to let you guys know that the number one thing with AI is context. So the better your context, the more inputs you give, and we train this model on a lot of data, the better the outputs. So AI is only as capable as the information that you actually feed it. This is actually something that I go through a lot on my AI channel, AI Edge soft plug. Subscribe to that channel because I'm uploading weekly AI videos where I go more in depth with specific AI stuff, but we'll keep the crypto focused stuff to this channel. So let's go through the price predictions. We'll talk about the catalysts for each coin. I'll give you my opinion on each coin as well and whether that prediction is relevant in my opinion. The first one is Bitcoin. It's currently sitting around 115K. It fluctuates a lot though. In 2 to 3 days once this video is edited, it might be higher or lower, but it's around there. And the AI says that it's going to have a cycle top target of 135 to 150. Now, honestly, this is pretty in line with my thoughts. So I think that 140K, I've been saying for a while, is a realistic target. 135 based on fib extension is your next target, but I think we might see it short squeeze into 140. So that would make complete sense. It could obviously go to 150. Look, long term, I think Bitcoin goes to $1 million, but for this cycle, and we're defining this cycle as by the end of 2026 because we don't know exactly when it's going to top, I think that is a realistic prediction. And the model did cite a majority of sources and institutional forecasts, like for example, Standard Chartered, expecting more institutional flows, MicroStrategy's purchases being expected to exceed 2024 accumulation, and a variety of historical patterns, which actually got us to arrive at this number. Next, I'm going to go through ETH, then I'm going to go through some of your favorite altcoins in the market and take a look at them as well. But obviously ETH being leader of the alts, this is a very important prediction. The AI predicts that Ethereum's top is going to be between $6,000 to $8,000. Once again, I think this is pretty spot on, and not surprisingly so, because we did train the model on a lot of data. We trained it on our own thoughts and analysis as well. So this is roughly in line with my thinking. To be completely honest, I feel like it could be lower end here. I could definitely see a squeeze to 8 to 10. I mean, that could definitely happen, but I do think 6 to 7 is personally where I see it, because if Bitcoin is going to make a 23 to 25% move to the upside, then Ethereum should make a 40 to 50% move, but I don't think it would make 2 to 3x the move of Bitcoin, considering Bitcoin has such a strong narrative in the market. Even though we're seeing Tom Lee and the DATs, so the treasury companies, buying up more Ethereum. This is clearly the big catalyst for Ethereum. It's one of the main drivers behind price action that the AI model cites. There's even speculation that it could hit $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, but I think more of a reasonable prediction for Ethereum aligns more with that $6,000 to $8,000 figure. And I would say the low end of that, but I'm conservative on ETH. I think the knock-on effects on other alts are going to be a lot more interesting, given that Ethereum's so much higher in market cap. All right. Next altcoin is Chainlink. Chainlink's a very interesting one because it has an extremely strong narrative this cycle, and it's one of my biggest bets this cycle since taking my big breakout position at $19. It's been a great performer for me, and the AI does expect that its performance is going to keep going with a cycle top target of $80 to $100. Now, if Ethereum went to 6 to 8K, then it's totally reasonable to expect that an altcoin with a strong narrative like Link with a lower market cap could go to 80 to 100. Now, I think this is slightly overs. I think 70 to 80 might be more realistic, and even 50 to 60 would be a huge price performance from one of the largest market cap assets in crypto. But I do think it has the right recipe to outperform here, given the fact that RWA and tokenization is such a massive narrative this cycle, and Link is kind of the de facto pick and shovel play for that. There's been a lot of fights between the XRP community and the Link community, but it's starting to gain that normie narrative as well. And even myself, I've seen crazy engagement on the post that I make about Link because the community is so strong. Community, especially as retail comes back into the market, is a really important component of price action. I think that'll continue to prop up its price performance and potentially lead to outperformance. Do I think $80 outperformance? maybe slightly lower, but I still think it'll do well and at least 2x from here. The next one that's also been performing strongly in terms of relative strength is Athena, ENA. It's currently around 65 to 70 cents, and the cycle top target according to the AI model is $2.50 to $3. Once again, I think this is realistic because it put a high in the mid $1 range, so to extend slightly beyond that high and go into price discovery does make sense given the fact that it's the fastest growing stablecoin protocol in this space. I think over $10 billion of their stablecoin is minted now, so it's actually outpacing other stablecoins for growth, becoming, I think, the third biggest stablecoin in the space. So that's super impressive. For that reason, I still think it has upside, but probably not going to $5 to $10. I think the lower end 250 is realistic. Like, I'm not a 10x altcoin moon boy. I think that there's still room in this market to run, but I don't think the crazy price targets that other creators or other models are throwing around are correct. So with this model, we tried to create it so it was actually realistic and based on real data and, real, not only historical performance, but current variables in the market. The next one is XRP. This is probably your number one retail coin in the market. And because of that, if Ethereum went to $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, I still think it goes up. But I do think because it has been in price discovery, it's already had a significant run. So I think the prediction here of 4 to 450 is absolutely spot on. I expect it to extend slightly beyond all-time high, but not go too much higher. I think assets like Chainlink will outperform. Obviously, if Chainlink went to $70, let's say, maybe you would see Link at $5 to $6, but that's already an aggressive prediction, and I don't think it'll outperform by that much. And then to wrap up, I wanted to put a couple of memes here and see what it predicted for some of the top meme coins in the space. And I selected SPX and PENGU because they're two of the memes with the biggest communities and the best relative strength at the moment. SPX, it thinks will go from $1.50 to $4 to $5. I think this is spot on. I mean, if Bitcoin goes to 150, ETH 6, 7, 8K, then SPX, I think $4 to $5 being one of the biggest memes in the space, or, at least with the biggest community, one of the biggest communities. I think that's totally reasonable. So I'm on board there for a 3x on SPX. And regarding PENGU, it has a 3 to 4x price target here, potentially a 5x if it gets to this upper range of 15 cents. I think PENGU could 5x. It's got legitimate brand IP. It's got a strong narrative and a strong community, but I think 10 cents is much more realistic. So a lot of the alts in this market, I'm projecting, as you can tell, on the 3x side of things, as opposed to the 5 to 10x side of things. Obviously, if we went 5 to 10x up, that would be amazing. We'd all make a lot of money, but I am muting my expectations just a little bit, trying to be realistic here, and the model also reflects that. So I'll be keeping you up to date regularly in my free Telegram. I'll leave a link in the description below because that's where I'm posting daily market updates. So as these coins start to hit their peaks and I start to ladder out of these positions, I'll let you know in my free Telegram. Also leave a link to subscribe to the AI Edge YouTube channel because I'm posting dedicated AI videos there. We do a lot more than just crypto analysis. I'm going into business models and how I'm optimizing my business with AI. So that's a super exciting channel. So subscribe there, join the free Telegram for regular market updates, because as the cycle progresses, my outlook may change and I do want to keep you guys updated. Obviously, follow me on the YouTube channel is a great place as well, but I'm trying with the Telegram to distill the information down and make it almost like a mini newsletter for you every single day to get the only things that you need to know in the market, especially if you're time poor. Overall, it was a super interesting video, I think, because the predictions of the AI actually align with generally what I'm thinking, but maybe I'm slightly on the conservative end of its estimates. I will see you in the next video. See you later, guys. Peace out.